The alarm goes off at 4:30 a.m. But this isn't just any morning routine. The man waking up is responsible for 5,000 lives, 90 fighter jets, and the most expensive warship ever built. One wrong decision could cost billions. One hesitation could endanger thousands. And right now, he's about to step onto the bridge of a floating city worth $13.3 billion, the USS Gerald R. Ford. This is the daily reality of commanding the most powerful weapon on Earth. Every second counts. Every choice matters. And today, you're coming along for the ride.
With the new galley. Good? Thumbs up? Good answer on camera. Good answer.
Introduction. The USS Gerald R. Ford isn't just another aircraft carrier. It's the most technologically advanced warship ever constructed. Stretching over 1,092 feet long, that's longer than 3 football fields placed end to end, with a flight deck wider than most city blocks, and powered by 2 nuclear reactors that could run for 50 years without refueling. But here's what most people don't know. The captain of this massive vessel doesn't have just one cabin. He has 3 different living quarters strategically placed throughout the ship. Why? Because when you're commanding a floating city that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you need to be everywhere at once. Captain Rick Burgess, the ship's commanding officer, describes it perfectly. I really grew to love this ship, and I honestly believe that it is everything the American taxpayers hoped it would be and more. And if you respect the dedication and sacrifice of our Navy captains, type salute in the comments below. The captain's day starts before the sun breaks the horizon. While most of America is still asleep, he's already reviewing overnight reports. Any incidents, equipment failures, weather changes, every detail matters when you're responsible for what former Navy officers call a 30-hour day. That phrase isn't an exaggeration. Former commanding officer Captain James F. Dorsey explained that running a carrier requires so much coordination that it feels like you need 30 hours just to get everything done in 24. The captain's first stop is his working cabin near the bridge. This isn't about luxury, it's about strategic positioning. Within 60 seconds, he can be on the bridge commanding the ship during any emergency. During critical operations, he'll sleep in his sea cabin, a smaller quarters even closer to Command Central. By 5 a.m., he's meeting with his executive officer. The XO is second in command, holding the same rank of captain, and together they review the day's operations. Today's schedule includes launching 160 aircraft sorties. That means coordinating takeoffs and landings every 90 seconds during peak operations. Think about that for a moment. Every minute and a half, a multi-million-dollar fighter jet either launches from or lands on a moving runway just 1,092 feet long, in rough seas. Sometimes in complete darkness. And the captain holds ultimate responsibility for every single one. The morning briefing includes reports from over 20 department heads: engineering, operations, supply, air department, safety communications, each one critical to keeping this floating city operational. Command structure. Here's something that surprises most people. The captain doesn't actually fly the planes. That responsibility falls to the carrier air wing commander, known as the CAG. The CAG is also a captain, making them co-equal in rank, but the ship's captain holds absolute authority over the vessel itself. Everything happening on that flight deck, in the hangar bays, below decks, and in the surrounding waters falls under his command. Then there's the air boss. This officer controls all aircraft operations from primary flight control, nicknamed Pri-Fly. It's a tower overlooking the entire flight deck. From this position, the air boss manages every aircraft movement within 5 nautical miles of the carrier and up to 2,500 feet altitude. The captain works alongside these leaders, but the final word always rests with him. As one Navy regulation states, the commanding officer exercises the sole authority to convene courts-martial on all personnel embarked. Our brave servicemen and women who command these vessels represent the very best America has to offer. Their training, dedication, and leadership keep our nation safe every single day. By 6 a.m., flight operations begin. The captain monitors everything from the bridge. His trained eyes scan the horizon, while his crew of 5,000 springs into action. Yellow-shirted aircraft directors guide planes across the deck. Purple-shirted fuel handlers, called grapes, prepare to refuel incoming aircraft. Red-shirted ordnance teams load weapons. And green-shirted maintenance crews perform final checks. Each colored jersey represents a different role. It's a system perfected over decades to prevent confusion in one of the most dangerous work environments on Earth. Quick question, do you think you could handle the pressure of commanding 5,000 people? Drop your answer below. Flight operations. The electromagnetic catapult system called EMAILS begins launching aircraft. This revolutionary technology replaced old steam catapults. It accelerates a 60,000-pound fighter jet from 0 to 165 miles per hour in just 2 seconds. The force is incredible. It's equivalent to launching a Volkswagen Beetle straight up 6 miles into the sky. And the captain must ensure this system works flawlessly every single time. But here's where things get challenging. When the USS Gerald R. Ford first entered service in 2017, these new systems created serious problems. The electromagnetic catapults experienced reliability failures. Advanced weapons elevators malfunctioned. Even the advanced arresting gear, which catches landing aircraft, had issues. These weren't minor glitches. By March 2018, the ship's cost had ballooned to $13.027 billion, making it the most expensive warship ever built. Technical delays meant the ship didn't reach full operational capability until 2020, 3 years behind schedule. Critics questioned whether this $13 billion investment was worth it, but the captain and his crew proved the doubters wrong. During the ship's maiden deployment in 2023, Captain Burgess reported that maintenance costs were down and nothing major broke during their entire 8-month voyage. The carriers of our United States Navy represent American strength and resolve, and the men and women who serve aboard them deserve our deepest respect and gratitude. By mid-morning, the captain conducts his ship-wide inspection tour. This isn't a casual walk. The USS Gerald R. Ford has 120 different divisions spread across multiple decks, climbing nearly vertical ladders, squeezing through narrow corridors, visiting berthing compartments where enlisted personnel sleep in racks, stacked 3 high with 60 people per room. The captain sees it all. He speaks with sailors, asks about their concerns, and ensures morale stays high during these long deployments. Some deployments last over 160 days without touching port. That's more than 5 months at sea. Midday operations. Before we continue, if you're finding this fascinating, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but makes a huge difference to us. Now, let's keep going. Lunchtime on an aircraft carrier is an operation itself. The ship's galleys serve 18,000 meals every single day. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5,700 personnel. The logistics are staggering. The captain usually eats in the formal wardroom, though sometimes he'll grab a quick meal in the dirty shirt wardroom where aircrew eat in their flight suits. Even during meals, he's working. Discussions about operational readiness, personnel issues, and upcoming missions continue over food. After lunch, the captain reviews intelligence reports. What are potential threats in the area? Any hostile vessels detected? Weather systems developing that could impact flight operations? Remember, this ship doesn't operate alone. The USS Gerald R. Ford leads an entire carrier strike group. This includes guided missile cruisers, destroyers, and submarines. The strike group commander is a rear admiral, and while he oversees the entire battle group, the ship's captain commands the carrier itself. Around 2 p.m., the captain receives word of an emergency. An F-35C, Lightning II, has developed a mechanical issue mid-flight. The pilot needs to land immediately. The captain doesn't panic. His training and experience kick in. He coordinates with the air boss. Emergency crews position themselves on the flight deck. Fire suppression teams stand ready. Medical personnel prepare in case of injury. This is what leadership looks like under pressure, not flashy heroics, just calm, decisive action based on years of preparation. The F-35C touches down safely. The arresting cable catches the aircraft perfectly. The pilot is fine, the plane will be repaired, but the captain knows this could have ended very differently. That's the weight he carries every single day. Afternoon responsibilities. By mid-afternoon, the captain turns his attention to administrative duties. As commanding officer, he reviews disciplinary cases. A sailor accused of violating regulations. Another requesting emergency leave due to family illness back home. These decisions affect real lives. The captain must balance military justice with compassion, maintain discipline while caring for his crew's well-being. He also handles promotion recommendations, assignment changes, and performance evaluations. With 5,000 personnel, that's a never-ending task. Around 4 p.m. comes another critical responsibility, the daily video conference with the strike group commander and higher Navy commands. The captain reports on operational status, fuel levels, ammunition inventory, personnel readiness, and any issues that need attention. These calls connect him to the entire chain of command, ultimately leading to the Chief of Naval Operations and the Secretary of Defense. The decisions made in these meetings can reshape global military strategy. Here's a question for you. What part of the captain's job do you think is most challenging? Let us know in the comments. Our Navy captains train for decades to reach this position. They must first become naval aviators or naval flight officers, then command smaller units, prove themselves again and again. Only the very best make it to this level. By 5 p.m., flight operations continue. The carrier must maintain combat readiness around the clock. That means continuous cycles of launching and recovering aircraft. Evening duties. As evening approaches, the captain reviews safety drills. Every week, the crew practices emergency procedures, man overboard drills, fire suppression drills, general quarters drills. A former commanding officer once said, "We have to drill and drill to build experience." What is impressive is that this ship is being run day to day by 19 and 20-year-olds. And he's right, the average age of the crew is remarkably young. But through constant training and experienced leadership, these young sailors operate the most advanced warship ever built. Dinner is at 6 p.m., but the captain's day is far from over. He reviews the next day's operational plan with his XO. Weather forecasts show rough seas ahead that will complicate flight operations. The carrier must adjust speed and heading to create the calmest possible conditions for aircraft landings. Even then, the deck will pitch and roll. Landing a fighter jet on a moving, tilting runway in darkness is considered one of the most difficult maneuvers in all of aviation. By 8 p.m., the captain conducts his evening rounds. He visits the engine room where nuclear technicians monitor the reactors. These power plants generate enough electricity to power a city of 100,000 people. The engineering team works in sweltering heat, ensuring every system functions perfectly. He stops by the ship's hospital. The medical staff can handle everything from routine checkups to major surgery. They're prepared for mass casualties if combat occurs. He checks on the night shift, preparing for flight operations. Aircraft will continue launching and recovering throughout the night. The carrier never truly sleeps. Around 10 p.m., the captain returns to his working cabin. He reviews intelligence reports that came in during the day. updates from the Pentagon, satellite imagery of the region, communications intercepts that might indicate threats. The weight of command settles heavy on his shoulders. Every decision he makes affects thousands of lives and billions of dollars in equipment. But this is what he trained for. This is why he spent over 20 years climbing through the ranks. The responsibility doesn't intimidate him. It motivates him. By 11 p.m., the captain prepares for sleep, but he's not heading to personal quarters in some distant part of the ship. He's sleeping in his sea cabin just steps from the bridge. Why? Because emergencies don't wait for convenient hours. If something happens at 2 a.m., the captain needs to be on the bridge within seconds. His phone sits next to the bed. The XO has standing orders to wake him for any significant development. Equipment failures, weather changes, potential threats. The captain must know immediately. This is what service means. Putting the mission above personal comfort. Staying ready at all times. Accepting that peaceful sleep is a luxury he can't afford while at sea. The men and women serving in our armed forces make these sacrifices every single day. They leave their families behind. They miss birthdays, holidays, and major life events. They do this willingly to protect our freedom. That deserves our recognition and thanks. Last question. Have you or a family member ever served in the military? Share your story in the comments. Around 3 a.m., the phone rings. The captain is instantly awake. A storm system has intensified faster than predicted. Wind speeds are increasing. Within 90 seconds, he's on the bridge. The XO briefs him on the situation. They need to alter course to maintain safe flight operations. The captain makes the decision. New heading ordered. Speed adjusted. The entire carrier turns through the dark ocean. Its 100,000-ton bulk cutting through 15-foot waves. This is command. Quick decisions based on imperfect information, trusting your training and experience, taking responsibility for outcomes. By 4:30 a.m., the alarm goes off for the next day. The captain has slept maybe 4 hours, but he's up immediately. Another day begins, more flights to launch, more crises to handle, more lives, depending on his leadership. This is what it takes to command the most expensive warship ever built. Not just technical knowledge or tactical skill, but unshakable dedication, the willingness to put duty above everything else, the strength to carry enormous responsibility without breaking. The USS Gerald R. Ford represents America's technological superiority and military might, but more importantly, it represents the courage and commitment of the 5,700 men and women serving aboard her. From the captain on the bridge to the youngest sailor swabbing the deck, each person plays a vital role. Together they operate a vessel that projects American power across the globe. They defend freedom. They protect allies. They stand ready to respond to any crisis, anywhere in the world. Conclusion. The captain's work never truly ends. Every day brings new challenges. Every night brings the possibility of emergencies. But he wouldn't have it any other way. This is what he trained his entire life to do. If this look inside the captain's world opened your eyes to what real leadership looks like, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into military operations. Drop a comment, sharing your thoughts on the incredible men and women who serve our nation at sea.